House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, one of the great orators of our time, spent the week attempting to do damage control for President Biden.
I refer you to the statement. I'm not going to go beyond what the president said. I'm just not going to get into specifics. We have put out lengthy statements, and you can reach out to them, as you all have been doing, and I will leave it there. I would just refer you to the Department of Justice, and now, as you all know, there's a special counsel dealing with this.
I'm going to defer you to the Department of Justice. They're going to defer you back to me, who's going to defer you to another lawyer, and we're going to get nothing done. It's going to be exactly what we want. Joining us now for more, a member of the House Budget Committee, Georgia Congressman Buddy Carter. Sir, appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
All right. Before we get to your plan for the taxes in America, I want to get to this, this new investigation that happens now. I got to say, now that this has happened in Biden, they said 2, and now maybe even a 3rd location. They found one more in his office at the same household that Hunter Biden actually owned. Are you guys going to be able to look into this, or because it's an ongoing investigation with a special counsel, are they going to block you from any involvement?
Well, they're certainly going to try to block us as much as they can, but they're not going to be successful. As you well know, one of the primary goals of our conference for the upcoming session, for the upcoming Congress, is oversight. And one of the 4 pillars that we campaigned on was to make sure that we had a government that was accountable, a government that is accountable to the people. The people want to know what's going on here. Another important thing to keep in mind about this situation, many of these documents that were found were while he was vice president. Now, the president has the ability to declassify some of these documents and make sure that they're not, that they can be out there. However, the vice president does not. He does not have the ability to declassify. So if these documents came from the time that Joe Biden was serving as vice president, then I certainly think we've got a big problem. Not to mention that, hey, they raided Mar-a-Lago. When are they going to raid Joe Biden's garage? This is what is good for the goose is good for the gander. We got to remember that. It's not just that you have to make sure that a Republican president is abiding by the law. All presidents have to abide by the law.
Yeah, now I happen to agree with that because I have to abide by the law. Everybody else should too. You have an interesting proposal on abolishing the IRS, ending the federal income tax in totality in exchange for what is similar to a VAT tax, like a consumption tax. Walk us through this plan briefly.
Well, what this is called is a fair tax, and it's been around for a while, but its time has finally come. Look, one of the very first thing we did in the Republican Congress and Republican House was to stop the hiring of 87,000 IRS agents. We can take that one step further now. We can actually do away with the IRS. Look, nobody likes paying taxes. Certainly the person in Maine who won $1.35 billion, my good friend, by the way, they have become my good friend now. But the person who won that money, they're not going to like to have to pay taxes on it. But given the choice between a consumption tax and between a property tax or an income tax or a payroll tax, people prefer a consumption tax. You can control it then. And that's what the fair tax is. It's a nationwide consumption tax. It's set at 23%. You get a prebate so that the essentials you can afford. So this is not going to impact the bottom people, the people below the poverty
and stuff like that,
rate. Yes, exactly. They'll still be able to get that. But it's going to satisfy the Democrats' proposal and assertion that, the rich people aren't paying their fair share of the tax. Well, they will now. You want to buy a boat, you're going to pay taxes. You don't want to pay the taxes, don't buy the boat. It's as simple as that. It is a consumption tax. It's what people want. That's why we call it the fair tax.
Wait, Congressman, are you advocating that people actually get to keep the money that they earn?
I'm advocating that they can get the unelected bureaucrats in the IRS off of their butt by simply being able to control what they want to pay in taxes. No longer will the IRS be saying you're going to pay this in taxes. You will decide what you want to pay in taxes by simply deciding what you want to buy and what you don't want to buy.
Congressman Buddy Carter, I think there's a bald eagle sitting on your shoulder right now. We appreciate your freedom. All right, sir. Thank you.